Hello. Just give it a few minutes to verify my connection here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we are live. Welcome, everybody, to Miles Culture Plate. I am your host, Kevin Miles. It is Tuesday, September 27th, 2022. And it appears, okay, good. My stuff is working here. Let me do something real quick. Okay. I don't know if that video even has audio.
If Russian.
Okay. All right. Just double checking my audio levels. For some reason, my computer forgot that it had audio equipment hooked up to it somehow. And I had to redo all my settings in OBS and all the other windows, and I got that back online, so didn't start out with a mime stream like I have in the past. So welcome. We have a couple news stories to get to. Today will be a whiskey review stream. I'm going to be reviewing Bushmills Black Bush Irish whiskey in the airplane size. And I will also be reviewing Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey, triple distilled. I've had both of these whiskeys before, but not recently. Not in recent years. So this will be an interesting, now that I'm a little bit more of a whiskey taster, so to speak, it'll be interesting to get a sip of it. Let's go ahead and start with the Bushmills Black Bush. Wow. My soy fingers could get the dang thing open. This is a tiny... Look how tiny that lid is, man. Couldn't get any torque on it. Go ahead and pour it over my little cubes here. Oh, yeah. That's got a nice odor to it. So, we've got some interesting news stories to cover today. We have some hijinks regarding a pipeline that delivers Russian gas to Europe. The Nord Stream pipeline has been sabotaged and attacked in some way, shape, or form, it appears. I guess it could be a natural, just damage, but it doesn't appear so. A lot of people are suspecting foul play. And there are some theories going around to who might be responsible for it. We'll cover some of that here in a little bit. We have the New York Post covering the latest celebrity to join OnlyFans. We have Italy voting the wrong way, according to our global media. And of course, we got our whiskey review here. I'm not sure when I'm going to go live next. The next scheduled stream is going to be Saturday. I will try to keep everyone updated on Twitter. You can find my Twitter handle down in the description. That's going to be Nerf Mild on Twitter. I will let you know the next time I'm going to be going live. Should be sometime between now and Saturday afternoon, but Saturday afternoon is my next scheduled stream. For now, you can plan on coming back then, but I will definitely be doing one more stream between now and then. So let's try the Bushmills Black Bush Irish whiskey. Oh yeah, it's got a good odor to it. All right. Interesting. Very light and tingly. Got a little spice on the finish and an interesting little aftertaste. All right. So let's get into our first story of the day via the New York Post on Twitter. Yes, sir. The transracial woman Rachel Dolezal, known for her high position at the NAACP, has an OnlyFans account, and she has had her nudes leaked on various social media. The photo you see here on the right is one of the more tame photos that are out there. I had a little trouble containing my dinner last night when I stumbled upon this story posted by some other Twitter handles who had some of the other photographs that were quite graphic, to say the least. So, nothing against Rachel. She actually, her body doesn't look super bad, but man, with the head and the different colored heels and the tattoo, it's all a little much. And, for how old she is, she actually has somewhat of a decent body, but unfortunately, her face looks like it's been hit by a train. And, then you have the whole transracial, she's definitely trying to make an attempt to look more diverse than what she really is. So, if you're looking for a reason to make yourself sick this evening, they're pretty easy to find. Just type her name into Twitter, and a lot of people have pretty graphic photos of Rachel Dolezal circulating right now. I don't advise it, folks. I don't advise it. This is not hot modeling. If you people, so I'm just confused. Do people go on OnlyFans and pay for this kind of stuff? I mean, amateur porn exists for free out there, right? Like, you would pay if you would pay for this. Let me know in the comments. I legitimately want to have a conversation with you. If you would pay this person, let's say $10 a month, maybe it's $5, maybe it's 3/5. I don't know. 3/5 of a dollar. If you would pay this person to see their nudes, leave me a comment below. I want to have a conversation with you. I want to find out what it is about amateur pornography, and more in particular, these strange people like this person or the bad Barbie. I'm trying to figure out what it is about these quasi-internet celebrities that get you off, because this doesn't do it for me. I see hotter women at the grocery store than what you're seeing here. So, go to the grocery store and stay off of OnlyFans. All right, so that's our first topic. So if you're still with us, if you haven't lost your lunch yet, that's that. Italy. So our entire mainstream media Okay, sorry. My windows were still a little messed up. Alright, so Italy had a national election in which they elected a new premier. And, The worldwide mainstream media, Italy voted for fascism, according to them. Italy voted for far right. Well, okay, so if a majority of the country, if a voting bloc makes up a majority of the country, then how can it be far right if they're part of the majority? Like, Italy voted for far right. And I haven't seen this video, but someone suggests that this may be one of the reasons why the media is all over this. Apparently the EU, before the election, had said something along the lines of, we may sanction Italy if it votes the wrong way. And now they're saying you voted the wrong way, so we'll see how these sanctions play out. So I'm going to play a video here that someone suggests might be part of the reason why Italy is in trouble with the international community right now. So we'll see here. Let me go ahead and play this video.
Non firmeremo alcun documento che non è nel nostro interesse nazionale e non è nel nostro interesse nazionale delegare la nostra politica di...
Okay, so those who may be listening to the audio and not watching the video, I'm going to go ahead and read the caption because you may not speak Italian. What she said is, we're not going to sign any document not in our national interest, and it's not in our national interest to sign our border protection policy over to the UN.
protezione delle frontiere alle Nazioni Unite. La Polonia dice
Poland says it's very likely we will follow the example of others and not sign it because of our rules and sovereign principles.
globale perché le nostre regole, i nostri principi sovrani concernenti la protezione
Regarding the protection of our borders are a priority.
delle frontiere sono una priorità. Lo dicono i
The governments of half the world are saying it. They all
governi di mezzo
understand.
mondo, l'hanno capito tutti.
Onorevole Scalfarotto, onorevole Meloni.
And then there's the chairman. Honorable Maloney, address yourself to me. Honorable Scalafarotto, be silent. You have spoken.
Lei
Continuing.
si rivolga a me, onorevole Scalfarotto, lei taccia perché ha fatto già il suo intervento.
L'abbiamo capito noi, l'ha capito mezzo mondo. Il punto qual è? Lo capiscono
The point is, they understand it too. They understand it well.
anche loro. Lo capiscono bene. Il Migration Compact è esattamente quello che serve a
Wow. The Migration Compact is exactly what is needed by those who have used illegal immigration in recent decades
l'immigrazione irregolare in questi decenni per coronare
to complete a grand plan of financial speculation
di privare nazioni e i
to
popoli
deprive
della loro
nations
identità,
and people of
perché
their
quando non hai
identity,
più radici sei schiavo,
because without roots, you're a slave, and when you're a slave, you serve the interests of Soros.
a quello guardano. E quindi
Unfortunately, that's what these people are doing. Soros, called out. George fucking Soros. Okay.
noi abbiamo letto bene il Migration Compact e continuiamo a chiedere al governo di avere una posizione chiara. Noi chiediamo che il governo dica pubblicamente
We read the migration compact, excuse me, and we asked the government to adopt a clear position. We want the government to say no publicly.
il governo dica pubblicamente di no, non ci basta che
It's
il
not
governo
enough to
non
go to
vada a
Marrakesh.
Noi vogliamo il voto in
We want a
quest'Aula
vote in
e
this
chiediamo
chamber, and we
che
ask all those who
noi la
wish
difesa
to defend our
delle
identity and our
identità e
borders
dei
to vote
confini, di
against
votare contro la
signing up
sottoscrizione dell'Italia
of
al
Italy to the
Migration
Migration Compact. Wow. Okay. So essentially, she's saying, yeah, she's against, international accords to just accept migration wholesale. And yeah, that kind of speaks not aloud on the international stage. You know, that hate speech that, we're not just gonna love every migrant that comes into the country and treat them like needy refugees, So, we'll see how this plays out in Italy. you know, as of now, the international media are condemning the Italian voters for voting the wrong way. It's still an early developing story. You know, it just happened, like 20 hours ago. So we'll see. We'll see how things play out. But, you know, may God be with you, Italy and Europe. You know, interesting to see how rapidly things changed from, you know, Brexit to now. How sovereignty has become a more important issue for many Europeans. So, you know, Godspeed. All right. So, but, you know, the final thing I want to say on it is, you know, interesting how it's the people who scream loudly from the rooftops about democracy being in jeopardy are the first to tell other people they voted wrong. It's more than just irony. So, getting another little sip of Black Bush here. I'm not as big of a fan of Irish whiskey as I am of, you know, good old Kentucky rye or even Scotch, but that's got a decent. It's got a decent finish. It kind of packs an initial kick, but it's got a decent finish. Okay, so now on to the Nord Stream pipeline. Let me go ahead and no, that ain't it. Okay, here we go. Oh, this is going to take up almost the whole screen. Let me see if I can make it any smaller here. Okay, so what we're going to see here is just a random video. I don't think there's any audio here of the Nord Stream pipeline. Well, the ocean surface, the Baltic Sea surface above the Nord Stream pipeline, bubbling with the leaking. Oh yeah, see it gurgling. They say that this is a very large section of pipeline that is damaged. It's not something that can be easily repaired because, you know, it. For one, the pressure at that depth, you know, is harmful to humans, and then not only that, but the pressure inside the pipes makes it damn near impossible. I was listening to Tim Pool cover this earlier, so you know, they're a little more. You know, Tim and Luke Radowski of We Are Change, you know, they're a little more familiar with this story than I am. They said that because of the way the natural gas is rising from the ocean floor, any boat that were to drive across or, you know, sail across this rising gas would not be buoyant and would sink immediately. So, you know, it's kind of important to, you know, Russia has apparently shut this pipeline off in previous months because of the sanctions and because of the war gesturing of the West. And so some of the theories are that Russia blew it up because they didn't need it anymore. But if they didn't need it anymore, well, they're also blowing up one of the only negotiating chips they would have, you know, and saying, you know, we could turn this back on. We just need a couple of European countries to break with Ukraine. So they would be destroying essentially their own bargaining chip if they did that. So one thing I want to cover is back in February, there was a speech by former Vice President Joe Biden let's go ahead and listen to what he had to say about the Nord Stream pipeline back in February.
If Russia invades, that means tanks or troops crossing the border of Ukraine again. Then there will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it.
So that's Joe Biden essentially saying he would bring an end to the pipeline, bringing gas into Europe from Russia if Russia invaded Ukraine. So I'm not going to get into conspiracy theories. As of right now, we don't have any evidence, or we don't know if it's foul play or if it was legitimately an accident. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. If you think it was an accident, or if you think it was the U.S., or if you think it was Russia, or if you think there were other state actors involved or terrorists. Just kind of let me know down in the comments what your thoughts on the whole Nord Stream pipeline situation is. It's pretty crazy. And nobody wins. Nobody wins when these kind of actions are taken, assuming they are legitimate actions and not an accident. It's a very unfortunate situation. So, okay, that's about all I have on that. Go ahead and take another little sip of my Irish whiskey. This should be the last sip of the Blackbush, the Bushnell's Blackbush, and then I'll cover my next, my final topic. It's the only other topic I have right now, and here we are. We're only 20 minutes in, and I'm burning through the topics quick. This is why I need a co-host. I'm just saying. If I had more people to chat with in the chat, bring more people in to chat with me. Or, let somebody know, hey, I'm willing to go on your stream, you go on my stream, we'll have conversations. I'm willing to kind of throw these things back and forth and kind of, because my show goes pretty fast if all I'm doing is quick little analysis of these interesting news stories. Sometimes I go off on 30-minute rants, but tonight I don't really have a whole lot to say about these few topics we've had so far, other than Rachel Dolezal's gross, and I don't know enough about this pipeline to log accusations. And I'm not an Italian voter, but the media says they voted wrong, and here's why I don't think that's the case. So, anyway, little Blackbush. All right. Ooh, that came back out the nose. I love it when it burns the nose. Tasty whiskey. All right. Okay, so now to our final video here. Okay. Here is former Vice President Joe Biden once again commenting on certain affairs. So if you this is a very serious issue. So I want to start with a disclaimer. If you are in the southern United States right now, please be safe. Please be careful. Evacuate and head north if you can, if it's too late, because it's getting pretty late for those in Florida. Please hunker down. I hope you have plenty of supplies, and I'm praying for you. May God take, light. May God tread lightly. May Hurricane Ian not leave a very big footprint on your life. Please be safe. I pray for you. Now, having said that, the Joseph Robinette Biden had also some words of advice for those who may be in the path of Hurricane Ian. And let's go ahead and listen to his words.
Let me be clear. If you're in a state where hurricanes often strike, like Florida or the Gulf Coast or into Texas, a vital part of preparing for hurricane season is to get vaccinated now. Everything is more complicated if you're not vaccinated and a hurricane or a natural disaster hits. Let me be clear.
You heard the man. Get vaccinated against hurricanes. Get vaccinated. Because it's easier to get vaccinated before a hurricane than after one. Whatever the hell. What in the hell is he talking about? These people are at risk of losing their homes, are at risk of having their communities flooded. They're talking about potentially 10-foot storm surges. And we're talking about vaccines. What in the glorious hell? This was the same man who, what was it, a week or two ago, declared the pandemic over. The pandemic is over, but, if this hurricane hits, and I understand, if this hurricane hits and you have to seek emergency shelter with hundreds of other people, we want you to be vaccinated. I get it. But no, this isn't the time, this isn't the place, and this isn't the project. I think he's insinuating that FEMA is not going to help these families unless they're vaccinated. He didn't say that, but am I reading too much into it? It seems like that's an insinuation hidden between the lines here. And again, I'm not one for dog whistles. I'm not one to make people responsible for things they didn't say. But why in the hell is he talking about vaccines when people's lives may be at risk from physical danger from a hurricane and flooding and storm surges, when there are so many other important parts of people's well-being, safety, and health, whether or not they catch COVID, or potentially anything else that they could potentially be vaccinated from. He didn't say COVID. But is this really a priority right now? According to the person, the commander-in-chief, the person in the seat, the top executive of the United States, former Vice President Joe Biden, of all the things he could have told people about the risk to their safety from Hurricane Ian hitting Florida, the Gulf Coast, and potentially Texas, he chose to remind them to get vaccinated. So when you're going to the grocery store to make sure your family's got enough water and food, and the store shelves are becoming empty because everyone's racing to get as many resources as they can get to store so they can hunker down, because once this storm hits, it may be days, even weeks, before someone could come in and rescue, or someone could come bring supplies to a disaster-strewn area. But while you're in that store getting water and canned goods and food and matches and all kinds of things that you might need for your safety and your life and your health, stop by the pharmacy window and ask them to put some needles in your arm, because that's the priority here. Not making sure you can hang on to that food, or that you can get that food home before the storm hits, before you can get that food stored in a watertight area before the flooding starts. No, make sure you get that needle in your arm first. I'm sorry, I don't know if this is breaking any terms of service from any social media that I'm on, but I'm sorry, but to me, in this particular situation, vaccination isn't a priority to me. So why are you telling people that they should do it? Because like I said, to me, it kind of sounds like maybe FEMA might not help you. Maybe you can't get into emergency shelters. Maybe you might be discriminated against if you're not current. What are we up to? 5 vaccines now? 5, the 5th booster? Or is this the Omicron booster, the super booster? Is it no longer the COVID booster, but now it's the Omicron super booster, Omicron, however the hell you say it. That's the super booster. If you're not current, if you don't have, the previous 4 shots and now the super booster, the Omicron, then you're not fully vaccinated. If you're not fully vaccinated, is the government going to deny you help? It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the coming days. Because while Florida is definitely full of communities that have a certain level of wealth, this storm may continue up into Georgia. Into the Gulf, Louisiana. And I think we've already seen what happens when those poor communities get hit with storm surges and floods. And if you deny those people aid because of their vaccination status, and statistics show that poor African American communities were some of the communities that refused vaccine mandates the hardest, that were unwilling to get vaccinated. I'm not saying one thing or another about those communities. It's just, it would be a damn shame if those people were denied aid because of their vaccination status after being hit with a natural disaster, after paying taxes and dealing with an inflated government who really has pumped a lot of money into their emergency management. FEMA has failed these people time and time again. And now, their livelihood may rest upon whether or not FEMA has policies working against them this year that they may not have had 5 to 10 years ago. On that note, time to crack open the Tullamore Dew. Probably should use a different glass, but I'm not going to, because YOLO. This one has a little bit deeper of a scent to it. The nose is quite a bit deeper than the Black Bush. I'm sorry. I'm angry. I'm angry that of all the things the President of the United States could be telling people in the path of disaster, he tells them to get vaccinated. So, hell, it could be hell on earth. And this guy only cares about whether or not pharmaceutical companies are able to shill their products. Oh, yeah. Deeper. Here, let me take a drink of water before I taste it, because I just took a hit off my vape. Cleanse the palate for a second, and then I'll taste this Tullamore Dew. I've heard good things about Tullamore Dew, and I'm sure I've had some back in the past, but, back in the day, I've said before on this stream, I only drank whiskey to get drunk. I didn't know how to stop and taste it. I would slam shots while playing board games, and it never really stuck with me. I just assumed it all tasted like kerosene and ignored the flavor until I was super hammered and couldn't remember what it tasted like. So, without further ado, a little bit of a cinnamon and spice. Like almost a rounded vanilla note there at the end. The finish has got a little sour note to it, but that just may be me. Good stuff. I actually like the Tullamore Dew better than I do the Black Bush. So, but then again, that may just be because it definitely tastes more like some of my favorite ryes than some of the Irish whiskeys I've had. I will say, I have a lot of family members who like the Jameson. And, I come from a little bit of an Irish background. And, they like the Jameson. I'm not a big fan. And so I'm still kind of searching for my home in an Irish whiskey. I don't quite have a favorite yet. But this Tullamore Dew has really gone a long way toward, Out of the 4 or 5 that I've had in the last year, the Tullamore Dew so far is my favorite. That was a pretty good flavor. It's well-rounded flavor. And like I said, it's got a good little spice to it. A good finish. Oh my Lord. Hang on. There's one more news story that we have to cover. Where is the news story? Okay. I can't believe I forgot all about this until just now. Okay, let's... Once again, I hate how often I go to this source, but it is what it is, and sorry for belching into the microphone. Sorry, I've always got to resize the windows because it bugs me on the way OBS displays them, so I have to resize every window. Okay, no notifications, thank you. Okay, Alec Baldwin may be facing charges for Rust shooting. Santa Fe prosecutor says the actor is a possible defendant as he hands over his cell phone to be looked at as evidence. Ladies and gentlemen, it's happening. I've been screaming about this tragedy for months. Let's see, hang on. Let me Let me see if I can. Nope, that ain't gonna. Well, here, let me try to cut off all the ads on the right hand side here and bring it back up. Okay. Sorry, that always bugs me seeing all their other news stories and crap on the side. So, New Mexico prosecutors have indicated that they may charge Alec Baldwin over the fatal shooting of Helena Hutchins on the set of his movie Rust last year after the actor handed over his cell phone to be considered as evidence. In a letter to the state's financial board asking for funding to prosecute the high-profile case, Santa Fe District Attorney Mary Carmack Altwies said she was ready to file charges against 4 people. She stopped short of confirming the charges she planned to bring, but said she was certainly looking at all homicide statutes and any gun statutes under New Mexico Criminal Code. One of the possible defendants is well-known movie actor Alec Baldwin, she wrote. She asked for $635,000 to prosecute the case, saying she needed the money to go up against well-paid attorneys. Woo, lad! High Hollywood attorneys out there. Good luck. The nature of emergency, including government health services. Okay, so this is a screenshot in the financial request. Nature of emergency, including governmental services not being delivered, and the effect of failure of service on public health, safety, and welfare of individuals and or community. The Rust case occurred unexpectedly in October 2021. This high-profile case with a competent, well-paid, and experienced defense lawyers. The Rust prosecution could potentially be prosecutions from 1 to 4 defendants. One of the possible defendants is well-known movie actor Alec Baldwin. This case could require up to 4 separate jury trials. The current FGDA budget cannot cover the cost of this prosecution without depleting. Okay. The state agreed to award her office $317,000 to appoint a special prosecutor to take the case forward. The request was quietly submitted on August 30th and recently approved. After it was filed, Baldwin, who welcomed his 7th child with wife Hilaria last week, listed his Hamptons home for sale. Dude, he's selling his houses to pay for attorneys. It's looking bleak for Alec Baldwin. He has always maintained that he did not pull the trigger and blame lies with stunt handlers and prop managers who could have ensured the gun was cold and empty of live bullets. I would never point a gun at anyone and pull a trigger. No, he said in an interview about the shooting. He lays the blame with armorer Hannah Gutierrez Reed, who he says was in charge of ensuring the safety of the props. The gun should have only contained blank rounds. Reed has always denied culpability, despite also being blamed by Hutchins' family for the tragedy. She was named as a defendant in the wrongful death suit launched by Hutchins' widower. ABC News on Monday said that one of the final pieces of evidence the prosecutors had been waiting on was for Baldwin's cell phone. The DA wrote that one of the final pieces of evidence her office had been waiting for was Baldwin's cell phone. Okay, they pretty much repeated the last line twice. I mean, I guess in different contexts. The actor has not commented on the DA's recent remarks. His attorney did not immediately respond to DailyMail.com's inquiries on Monday. Imagine that. Dude, he should have shut the fuck up a year ago. He should have shut the fuck up a year ago. Instead, he's all, I didn't pull the trigger and, I was just doing this and blah, 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 blah. Dude, shut the fuck up. Because now everything he said in every interview thus far is going to be contradicted by the FBI, going to be contradicted by the DA's case in chief. They're going to have evidence. So the couple recently welcomed their 7th child together, a daughter named Ilaria Catalina Arena Baldwin. So yeah, I don't care what he named his daughter. I don't want to know. Frankly, the fact that they're celebrating a new baby when he ended a mother's life recently is just sad. So let's go ahead and take this off the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, Alec Baldwin may wind up in jail. Straight to jail. Go straight to jail. That whole meme. Straight to jail. Oh, look at that. My chair's about to sink. Sorry. I need to get a better chair. So what do y'all think? Straight to jail? Straight to jail. I say straight to jail. I covered this on one of my streams a couple weeks ago. You know, the five basic rules of handgun safety, and how Alec Baldwin ignored every single one of them. And here we are. Now he might be going to jail. Now, I'm not holding my breath because, frankly, waiting a year to charge him already leaves me with questions about the New Mexico DA. But now that he's getting charged, hopefully they'll do their damn job. Hopefully they'll have actual handgun safety experts. And hopefully they'll explain, you know, how other Hollywood productions do this without shooting people in the face. And, you know, definitely the armorers share some culpability and responsibility. There shouldn't be live rounds on the set. But because live rounds exist in the universe, you still check the gun and you make sure. And you still don't point it at someone's face. And you clear everyone down range of the gun on the set. But no, you shot 2 people and 1 person died. And I'm ranting about it again, and because I'm angry. I'm angry at Alec Baldwin over this. Because he makes liberals right when they want to talk about gun control. But it's not the responsible gun owners. It's the criminals like Alec Baldwin who want to treat guns like they're toys, like they're playthings. And, you know, doing the quick draw and pointing it at the camera woman. You don't do that. Responsible gun owners don't do that. And unfortunately, because idiots like you exist, and because idiots take these guns into schools, or idiots take these guns wherever and commit crimes with them, it makes the responsible gun owners look bad, and makes leftist weirdos like you and your family call for gun control. Look, if you're not going to be responsible with a weapon, if you're not going to learn weapon safety and religiously practice it, vigilantly practice gun safety, then stay the fuck away from guns. Don't film movies where you're having gunfights. If you're going to, do it all in fucking CGI. You shouldn't have a gun in your fucking hand. Period. Anyway. Cheers to Elena Hutchins. So again, I'm angry, mild. Mild is angry. I wish we could have some levity on this show. I wish I could make more jokes. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully I could get some back and forth here at some point in time, whether it be more people in the live chat, or, you know, a co-host of some sort, or a guest coming on. I would love that. If you would like to be that person, let me know. Let me know in the comments anything that you've disagreed with that I've said, and what position you take, and we can have a little bit of preview debate, and I might bring you on. I would do that, especially with people who disagree with me. So let me know. Leave a comment below. So having said that, we're at 9:50. It's still a little bit early to wrap up. Still drinking my Tullamore Dew. Still hitting my vape. Still thugging and bugging. Taco Tuesday. I did Taco Tuesday earlier. I had a little shopping to do, and so that's why the stream was later tonight than it usually is on Tuesdays, folks. So my apologies for that. I realized quickly that around the time I was leaving the house, I was like, oh yeah, this is when I'm usually live streaming. But yeah, I absolutely had to get some groceries for the week, and could not. There was not a better time to do that. Let's look at a meme real quick. Is this it? Yeah. And of course I gotta resize it again. Wow, I really gotta resize it. Okay, let's look at this. This is funny. Take out the chip of Putin being a Nazi, put in Italian woman as Nazi. Okay, NPC got their new programming. They got their new download. Pretty funny. So yeah, I mean, I've pretty much exhausted the 5 news stories I plan on covering tonight. Okay. The only other thing I have to mention is that Nick Rekieta. So Nick Rekieta was suspended from Twitter. He says that the communication he got from Twitter was that it was for ban evasion. Now, if you've been following Nick Rekieta for any amount of time, you'll understand that about 2-3 years ago, he was suspended for calling someone a mutant. And that suspension was supposed to last a couple of months, I believe. And in the meantime, he hired an intern. We'll say he hired an intern to get around the ban so that he could promote his nightly show. He wasn't tweeting from his Twitter, from this media Twitter account. It was his Rekieta Law account. So let me bring this up here. So this is Christopher Boozy, who has been feuding with LawTube folks. This is Christopher Boozy, who's been feuding with LawTube folks. And I'm not trying to get in the middle of this, but I want to be very clear. This bottom tweet here, his previous account was Nick Rekieta, and he was evading suspension. Ladies and gentlemen, his previous account was at Rekieta Law. That was his previous Twitter account, was at Rekieta Law. The very username he's using now, the very one that was suspended this week, the same account. It was suspended 2 years ago for calling someone a mutant. As such, he had an intern tweeting his show links on his behalf on at Rekieta Media. After a certain number of months went by, his suspension dropped. Around the same time, he's like, screw it, I don't want that account anymore. I'm just going to take over the Ricada Media account. And he started tweeting from the Ricada Media account. As such, that other account got taken over by an anon, a hacker. Someone else got the @RicadaLaw username. So for the past nearly 2 years, Nick Ricada has been tweeting under the name @RicadaMedia. And then few months back, this whole situation with Elon Musk buying Twitter happened. And all of a sudden, a lot of bots and a lot of unused accounts were magically removed from Twitter. As such, whichever anon had control and was no longer using the @RicadaLaw account, that whole account was deleted. And as such, Nick Ricada was able to change his username on his @RicadaMedia account. He was able to change that name to @RicadaLaw. So he wasn't ban evading. His suspension was lifted. His account was taken over by a hacker, and he was tweeting from a completely different account, validly under the rules of Twitter. And as such, eventually, he was able to take his old username back and tweet under his old username. Now I'm wondering, I'm hoping I didn't have anything to do with this. I don't think I did, but I did point out last night when Nick had posted his show link to Twitter, I jokingly said, "Hey, dude, your thumbnail has your old Twitter username on it." Just so that he'd update it. So I'm hoping I didn't have anything to do with it. I don't think I did, but I mean, crazier things have happened. You know, I don't think I'm that important in the universe. But, you know, if I am, I want to genuinely offer my apology to Nick Ricada. Didn't mean to get involved in whatever beef is going down between Boozy and the LawTube. I'm just, I'm just a fan of some of these LawTube channels. Boozy, whatever. I'm not trying to get involved in your shit, dude. So if you have an issue with coming after me, I'm just clearing the record of how I know the facts. And this second tweet of yours here is wrong. I'm not calling you out. I'm just saying that this is the fact here. So it is what it is. I'm not here trying to get boozy bucks. I know the LawTubers, they're trying to get the boozy bucks. I'm not. I'm here. I don't make money doing this. I do this for fun. I do this for y'all. So that's one thing. The other thing is, and I haven't done a deep dive into this news story yet, but from what I understand, hang on real quick. Bear with me, y'all. That's not the only censorship that's happened in the last 24 hours. I'm having a brain fart here, so bear with me because I thought I could fix this. Okay, I'm an idiot. All right. Russell Brand. Oh my gosh. Why could I not remember who the fuck Russell Brand is? Russell Brand apparently Russell Brand has been censored by YouTube. And he's going to be a Rumble exclusive creator from now on. So, big congratulations to Russell Brand. I don't know what he did. I don't know why YouTube has suspended him. Hopefully we'll find out. Yeah, he's got a few YouTube shorts. Oh, okay. Apparently he's not been suspended. He just had a video removed from YouTube for, quote, disinformation. So I'll try to look into this a little more. And give you all an update on Saturday or on my next live stream, whenever that's going to be. It'll probably be Thursday, if I'm going to be honest. Oh, okay. So I guess Russell Brand had already announced that he was moving to Rumble, and that was the video that got struck. I don't know. I'm going to have to dig deeper into this. Well, like I said, I'll get back at you on Thursday. We're at an hour. I'm going to finish my whiskey here. This Tullamore Dew is actually pretty good. Oh, excuse me. Oof. Oh, I burped. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Cheers, everybody. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of the Irish whiskey, so I would definitely prefer a rye to that. But so far, if you're going to offer me an Irish whiskey, I'll ask for Tullamore Dew until, I could try some of the more popular Irish whiskeys. We'll see how it goes. So, yeah. Leave a comment below if you have anything to say about any of the topics I covered tonight. If you disagree with me on any of the topics I covered tonight, leave a comment below. If you want to be involved in future live streams here at Mild's Culture Plate, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click the bell for notifications. So if you hit that subscribe button, what will happen is right there on the left where it says subscriptions, or if you're on mobile, it'll be below where it says subscriptions. You'll have a feed of all the channels you subscribe to and kind of a chronological order of the videos that they have recently released. If I'm live streaming, I'll be at the top of that. And if you have a YouTube app installed to a smart device, if you click that bell for notifications, you should be getting notifications for a certain number of live streamers a day. I don't exactly know how the algorithm works. They don't try to bombard you with every person that goes live, but hopefully they'll give you a notification if I'm going live. If not, just try back here. Usually Tuesday, Saturday, and potentially this Thursday. Just keep an eye between 4 and 8 Central Time. That'd be 5 to 9 Eastern. And if you're overseas, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I've had, what is it? 100 milliliters of whiskey. But it's only 40%. Both of them are only 40%. Yeah, they're not as strong as I thought they were, but perhaps it's because what I ate earlier wasn't very, I said I had tacos, but there wasn't a whole lot of like bread or grease. Anyway, so we'll see. I'm going to drink a little bit more water and try to relax a little bit with my doggy. And I will catch you next time. So yeah, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Come back for the chat. Leave a comment below if you disagreed with anything I said or have something to say about a future stream. And the last thing I ask you to do is share this off platform. Share it with any friends who may, enjoy the political discussion we're enjoy discussion about pop culture or want, ranting reviews from an angry white man. So I'll catch you next time on Mild's Culture Plate. Y'all have a good Taco Tuesday, and I'll see you next time. Peace.